Anyway, a free shiny Litwick on eBay. Yeah. You know, anybody donates a whack during the next 24-hour charity stream or something like that, you can have the shiny Litwick if you want. Boxes. Or if anyone really wants to name our shiny Litwick, you can always do that. If anyone, where the hell? Oh, there you are. Oh yeah, Heatran's here too. Maybe I'll just multi-select then. Because, yeah, we got a new shiny Pokemon here. What the? Oh. Shit. I did it again. What have I done? These boxes are filling up, man. Oh, man. Destine Redeem name a Pokemon? Okay. Did you want to name the shiny Litwick? Yeah, look at this. A couple of shinies. One of which is currently in use in my party because you're kind of one of the main important dudos to Mega Dimension when the whole initial trailer came out and it was showing the Mega Raichus, so kind of fitting. You know. Here, just have the legendaries on this line or something like that. Maybe have it slightly organized at least. Sure, what kind of name do you want? Never mind, I was going to throw a name, but now I guess I can't. You can always throw out a suggestion. Maybe Destine takes your suggestion. What you could always do. You can always, guess none of these guys were named either, technically. In case anyone wants to name a legendary Pokemon. Yeah, there's definitely not as much naming that goes on in a playthrough like this where you catch it and it's like, oh, it's caught and it's in the box. As opposed to, you know, you catching it immediately. Would you like to nickname the Pokemon? There it's easier to be like, oh, nickname, now is the time for it. And, you know, there's redemptions and stuff. Do that before disaster strikes again. Anyway, we'll do that rock one, I guess. I was gonna name it Ace because it's a Ghost Fire type. One Piece joke. Dang it. Freaking. Well, Destine could always take your suggestion. What you feeling there, Destine? What you think? Well, let's see here. Heat Blast? Sure, that it be then. Let's see here. Guess that's what's going on. Oh. Whoa! I almost had Disaster Strike again. Be on that screen. It's a Ben 10 reference? Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I believe you, though. Here, do this. Nom, 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 nom. Now I go in here and I get another shiny Pokemon. Just you wait. Sweet is a small one. Look how many tiny Onyxes are everywhere. Use the catch window. Okay. Destroy floating Pokeballs and stuff. Where are you? Where are you going? What the hell is the pathfinding in this game? It's so bad. Stop being stuck on— You actually gotta be kidding me right now. Catch window. Do that. Please. Now stop being caught on the lamppost. Here, do that. Whatever. Catch window. I'm trying to switch to Great Balls, dang it. Save some of these Ultra Balls. Okay, use the catch window. There, now floating Pokeballs and sparkling items and stuff. Okay, new research. Oh, revive. Usually I just get Gimmick-Ghoul coins. I told you to Aqua Jet. Where are you going? What? Where? Oh, genuinely. Like, I realize that this game got delayed and they took more time for it, but they still pushed it out in such an unfinished state. Like, I don't understand how anyone can look at this and be like, yes, this is what Pokemon should be. We finally hit peak. This game's amazing. Like, I don't get it. Like, whatever, man. Game sucks. Okay, Aqua Jet. Give me all these things. I need a delay, but it was still rushed. 3 houses moment. Yep. Except, you know, even more so because Pokemon. 3 houses definitely feels way less rushed than this game. Also, Cyberpunk 2077 moment. It do be a mess. Here. Grab all the stuff. I was about to mention Cyberpunk. I had a typed message. All had the same thought. Also, No Man's Sky moment. Yep. You're right. Yoink. Now give me all the sparkling items. All of them. Excuse me? Any others I'm missing? I'm sure that there's definitely some. Can't think of any good examples right now. Those are definitely the famous ones there. Hytail's in a very unique position. But I don't think that I would call it rushed out necessarily. Like, sure, put out in an unfinished state, but if it's an early alpha, you know, makes that clear, then probably not exactly the same. Man, do I just need to pick up, like, every single sparkling item that's in this area or something like that? There's a whole pick up 20 sparkling items on this, like, super small area. It's really quite screwing me. Rush it out to market after the original owner bought it back from the Lol guys. I guess in a way there. Let's see. Sure, go this way, I guess. That one bonus ball at least. What are you taking damage from, man? Maybe I can spot any sparkling items. Actually, what am I saying? It wouldn't render from up here. I don't think. Oh, there's one sparkling item over there that I missed. I'm honestly surprised that rendered. Alright, well. Surprised you actually broke that instead of getting caught on like a taxi cab or doing a 180 or something like that. And there's a sparkling item over there. Let's just take this road again. So I'll do. Got delay a bunch, then they rush it to release and told everyone, hey, this is being rushed to release. Don't expect it to be good on launch. It counts as delayed it, but still rushed. Yeah, make a good point. Let's see here. Wait, hold on. What? Hytail's at one point owned by the League of Legends guys? Owned by Riot. Riot Games. Oh, I can literally just from here. Low FPS Onyx there for a second. Now a little bit higher FPS. I wonder what their FPS would be like on the Switch 1 version. I keep on meaning to, like, set up my Switch 1 and pop this in and do a stream of just showcasing the Switch 1 version by comparison. I keep on not. What is this fucking lore? How'd they buy it back from Riot? Because Riot gave up on it and put the IP up for auction. And they bought it back is the general gist that I know. But I don't know, like, the whole story. To know that bare basics kind of thing. This is all I know. Where the heck are you? What is going on? Why is the pathfinding so broken? Like, you know, I can't speak from a massive ton of pathfinding programming experience, but I am confident that I could program better pathfinding than this. One of my game design courses in university, we had a whole unit on pathfinding. I'm confident I could factor in some of that stuff a little bit better than it's implemented here. My goodness. Well, I guess we'll dip on out here. This week, a Lego collab with Pokemon and Zelda, which is pretty cool, but the prices is disgusting. The Zelda one is meh, but the Pokemon and Lego is really bad. This buffet for scalpers to sell those products off on eBay. Yeah, I think I remember seeing a post that's like, what's more expensive? Nintendo Switch 2 plus Pokemon Legends ZA bundle, plus Pokemon Scarlet and Violet double pack, plus 1 year of Nintendo Online, or Pokemon Lego. And the Pokemon Lego was more expensive. It's like, what? So yeah, and it's all under like the label of the Lego that's 18 plus, the adult Lego. Ever since Lego realized that there's like a very large adult market, and so to try and erase the stigma of it being a kid's toy and, you know, make adults feel better about their purchases with the Lego, they started making these 18 plus Lego sets. And the Pokemon and the Zelda Lego sets are counted as like their 18 plus age rated Legos. because they're trying to appeal to, like, you know, demographics that grew up with those games and are into Lego and want, like, these elaborate sets and, you know, can afford the crazy elaborate prices here and stuff. And if you look at the ad that revealed the Pokemon Lego there, you don't see a single kid anywhere in the ad. Like, it is so directly targeted towards, like, adults that are working full-time, have good income, can afford this kind of stuff. And, like, even outside of the whole 18 plus on the box. Like, I think Lego is making bank off of the whole 18 plus, saying that they have adult only or adult intended Lego sets. And kind of erasing the stigma of adults building Lego and stuff. Hold on. Pokemon Lego trailer. Like, I remember seeing the Lego Pokemon reveal trailer. Was it this, I think? Hold on. So I remember seeing this trailer, and I was just stunned when there wasn't a single kid, like, anywhere in the trailer. If this is the one.
In a world of taxes.
Yeah, it is.
Instead of gym badges.
So yeah, the target
one
audience
trainer
is
about to remember
adults.
who he really is.
It is official. Our report
This is the
confirmed that
Pokemon Lego.
Pokemon creatures are finally here and have started appearing around the world.
There are some of those too.
More on this as the story develops. So please stay tuned.
Stories. Venusaur. Pikachu. No way.
Your time
Hire me
has
for one of
come,
these ads.
and Destiny doesn't care about lower back pain.
So yeah, this is the target audience for this product. So I mean, the ad very much speaks for itself in terms of who they're trying to get interested in this. So, you know, most Pokemon ads, you see, like, you know, kids pretty much everywhere. Kids, teens, all sorts of stuff there.
Ethan, what's going on?
But yeah, the Lego Pokemon trailer. There's
We're
not
gonna catch and build them all.
there's not a single Pokemon anywhere. Yeah, apparently this is like the super pricey one. But it's I don't know how new it is. I only just learned about it last year, I think. But the new thing that Lego's doing, where they write 18 plus on their boxes, because, like I said, they realize that there's a large demographic of interest in their products from adults, and, you know, their products are typically associated with kids, and so they're making bank on their 18 plus Lego products, where it's like, oh yeah, it's intended for adults. Lego isn't just a kid's toy. Nah, pshaw. No way. You know, so they make a whole lot of money off of that, and it looks like that's the approach that they took with the Lego ones, interestingly enough. If there was Pokemon Lego, I would have thought for sure that it would be a, you know, thing that's meant to be like a family-friendly kind of household kind of thing. But no, instead it's like the super elaborate big Gen 1 sets with a bazillion pieces, really high prices, and the 18 plus on the box to appeal to the adult demographic, which, you know, if it makes them a whole bunch of bank, then, you know, can't blame them, but, you know, it's all fun and games until they release the Evolution set for about 800 or 1,000. Yeah, just you wait there. Pokemon products can't exist anymore without scalpers. Oh, what else did I miss here? Let's see. But yeah, after they announced the game, Riot bought it, proceeded to develop it, and never released anything that gave up, and the original owner bought it back. Well, Riot literally bought it and feature creeped it to death and went, this isn't worth the investment. And then the original bought it back, and in 6 months has released a game that, from what I can tell, is doing pretty damn well. Hytale sold at least 2.8 million copies so far. Jeez. Every time a Pokemon thing is announced that isn't like a plushie, it gets scalped the micro instant it drops. Yep. It works. It's just one of those laws of the universe. Surprised it took so long for Pokemon to switch to Lego from Mega Bloks, but also seeing the prices makes me want to never buy a Pokemon product again. But again, it would probably be a very different story if it said like 12 and up on the box, as opposed to 18 plus on the box. You know, they are saying, this is an adult Lego set. They're explicitly saying that with their box, and so they expect an adult affordability kind of price point, where, you know, you're working full time, you can afford these things, but, you know, in this economy, can you really? You know what's cheaper than the Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise Pokemon set? A Nintendo Switch 2, a copy of Mario Kart World, and a copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza. All three of those are cheaper than that Lego set. Yeah, it's kind of like the Pokemon example I used there as well. Best example of the cards, people quite literally beat the shit out of each other and do advanced citizenry? Chickenry? What? I've never actually seen that word before. Just to scalp the cards. Yeah, the Pokemon card game scene is certainly something. I remember I saw this one video at one point where it's like Pokemon card collecting in like 2010 versus today or something like that. And it was basically like going into a card store, and the whole skit was like 2010 or whatever year it was, 2015. Maybe it was a 10 years ago thing they did, where it's like, oh yeah, my kid's birthday this weekend. I was hoping to get them like, you know, maybe at least like X amount of booster packs. Like, what's a good plan here? And the store owner is like, oh yeah, you can go for like one of these boxes for like 40 bucks. It's got like 10 of these booster packs, and tell you what, I'll give you 2 of these booster packs from this set as well, because the box set you're buying here like doesn't include that set. Then your kid gets like a couple of these booster packs too. And the guy's like, well, great. And then and then when it goes to today, it's like, yeah, you want a box? Be prepared to pay like 100 bucks. Good luck trying retail. Like, you're only gonna find it at the specific store. And it's like, yeah, that kind of is how it goes, from what I understand nowadays. But yeah, $650 Pokemon Lego or $450 Switch 2 with Mario Kart World for $80, and ZA Switch 2 edition $70. Hear me out. Let's buy 1,000 pieces of tiny plastic instead of a fucking video game console. Yeah, if you have the choice between the two, the answer should definitely be obvious, I would think, which one is the better investment. But if you have a lot of disposable income and maybe not a whole lot of time to be playing games on a console, or you already own the console, and you just want to have like a really cool thing that sits on your shelf after building it, then like, hey, like, go for it. Whatever, I guess. Also, hey guys, remember Gen 1? Please remember Gen 1. Please buy the Gen 1 toy so you can remember Gen 1 again. Really. I might go ahead and... 69. What if I swap you in? Why did I gravitate towards this dark one again? You're thinking I'd have some sort of type advantage. But like... Dark weak to bug? I know Psychic is weak to bug. Weak to Fairy. I'll go ahead and use you, I guess. But yeah, let's see here. Chicanery. It means like bullshit trickery. Okay, chicanery. Watch a short video called Cranky Rants where Cranky Kong was ranting about how bad and scummy the Pokemon and Lego collab is. It's a funny video. Sounds like it would be. How long do you think it'll take for modern Nintendo to get their heads out of their own asses? Only if the industry gets to a point where they actually need to survive. If that doesn't happen, it's not happening anytime soon. I forgot to switch back to this layout, by the way. I'm realizing. Catch fire-type Pokemon, use the catch window. Destroy floating Pokeballs. Should be easy as long as it doesn't take too long to find anybody. This will happen, like, immediately, then. Okay. Here, start using some of these Great Balls, how about? Here, use the catch window. Here we go. Boopity bop. There, done. Now just go destroy some floating Pokeballs. And then we're good. Let's go up there. This one will be super easy peasy. I can start making some even more wimpy donuts. I don't really have to be going that hard on them. For these, it doesn't seem like. But yeah. Now I could get a console and games for it and get more and more games as time goes on. Or I could get the Gen 1 toy and remember Gen 1. Which is truly the better purchase here. Nintendo shares have lost 24% of their value within the last 6 months. Surely to God, that's a sign they should get their heads out of their asses, no? I would hope so. I don't know. They're still making a shit ton of money. Maybe not as much as during the Switch 1 era. I mean, Switch 1 era is technically still ongoing. If you want to be technical here. So, I don't know. What their financials might be looking like. Yeah, I presume that shareholders are not exactly super impressed about that. Up I go. Can I get up onto the rooftop some way, somehow, this way? Okay, what the hell is even okay, well, whatever. Maybe I did need this strong of a donut, just because it's going to take me forever to figure out how I get up there and get that, / other floating Pokeballs. Because what the heck even? Anything back here? What The hell's the point of this? Like, Sharpedo's still coming after me here. I don't know, man. Where the hell are the floating Pokeballs? This might actually screw me. There's one. Tucked away. Come on. There. Where you wouldn't get it. That's not a floating Pokeball. Traversing these hyperspace areas is really quite annoying with all the blockages. I will say. Come on. Damn. Alright, well. Come on. Do this then. Is someone else confused? Why am I continuing to hear like the confusion sound like multiple times layered onto itself? Damn. Well, how the hell do I even get on the roof? That's what I really want to know. But it's such a puzzle. There's no way I can just get that from the ground. Where the heck? Maybe there's some way this way if I don't fall off the way that I did. But like... Oh, there was one here too. No, not this way. Wait, yes, this way. There's a thing right here. Switch 2 has sold 35% fewer units over its first holiday season in the US than Switch 1 did during its first holiday season. Which is really surprising considering the difference in how many units were available. When Switch 1 was getting scalped to all hell and it took a while before you could actually find them on the shelves. Whereas Switch 2 from day one has been like, yep, you can find it, it's available, there's units. Like, as I mentioned during previous streams and stuff, like, there definitely isn't as much reason to own a Switch 2 as there was a Switch 1. Be fair, but still, even just comparing like the whole difference in availability, you'd think that it would be a comparable amount that it would have sold in terms of like initial launch and all that. So that really is quite surprising to hear. I don't trust anything anyone says about Nintendo stocks and whatnot because there's a whole genre of grifters who are always like, Nintendo is over untold levels of disaster, makes Virtual Boy look successful in comparison. Yeah, you're not wrong. There'll always be those that are like that. One bonus ball. There you are. What is your routing? What is this? Just maybe you had like a better vantage point there or something? I don't know. There, grab that. Get any bonus balls, floating Pokeballs I missed quickly. Just to get some stuff. Switch 2 is fairly successful in Japan, because the console's only like $300 USD in Japan, assuming you buy the Japanese lock system. Yeah, I'd heard about those. But yeah, I do know that in regards to prices especially, one of the biggest factors here in North America is the tariffs. Across the Americas in general, because things go through the US to get packaged for across North and South America. Apparently prices are like going up for a long time in Europe in general. Even before the Switch 2. The rest of the world where it's $400, 50 USD equivalent, it's not selling that well. So it seems. Switch 2 did apparently sell okay, but not like fantastic. Gotta remember the Switch sold insanely well. And yeah, I mean the Switch 1 was also like kind of new novel concept. Switch 2 is no longer a new novel concept, and there are competitors like the Steam Deck, for example. If you want a successful one. If you want an unsuccessful one, there's things like the Google Stadia. Like, it's not like a brand new concept that's being introduced anymore. What the hell is going on here? I don't know, man. Whoa. Alright, I did what I could here. I'll get up to that 50,000. Yeah, maybe I'll try to beat it tonight. Let me out of here! But then there'll still be post-game to do after maybe starting Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. It's a very different environment the two systems are being released in, for sure. That cannot be denied. But I'm gonna deny it anyway. No, oh man. Go right across here to that. If this was a cool game, you'd be able to just go right across. if this was most modern AAA video games, you would just be able to go right across, do some swimming, maybe go onto a ride Pokemon and go right across there or something, but nope. Nope. Alright, in we go. Oops. No, I don't need one that crazy. These ones are all my Christmas ones. I'm not gonna have enough time for the bonus ball. I do a Christmas one. Just do this. Now there's monthly hardware spending has cratered over the last year or two. You might have to clarify what that means. Like, just in terms of, like, hardware purchases in general across, like, the world, or what you mean? Glowing Pokeballs, Fire-type Pokemon, Patches of Bramble. This is a Fire-type hole that I went into. That could have just been Catch Pokemon, too. That'd be the exact same. But hey, I mean... Here. Oh. There. Do some of that, just in case I need to catch some of you guys. Nope, don't even need to. Alright, floating Pokeballs and Brambles it is. Hey look, this seed gave me this. Ignoring that and going, Nintendo is over forever, gets more clicks. Yeah, that's unfortunately just kind of the modern internet in general. Modern YouTube, modern internet in general. Come on. That's how it goes. That's how it, yeah. That's how it goes. And in the case where people are doing that and, you know, making a living off of content creation, there is a point where you do have to say, like, blame the game, not the player. And that's what you gotta do to get clicks, sadly. I agree, Delphox. I agree, Flarida. Alright, find some more floating Pokeballs here. That hole is, like, in that car. Well, more specifically, hardware spending was down a whopping 27% year over year to 695 million. Lowest hardware spending total for November since 2005 is 455 million. Even worse, unit sales reached 1.6 million, which is the lowest November number since 1995's 1.4 million. IGN article covering November 2025's hardware sales. You're saying in terms of like Nintendo hardware sales in that case, or like gaming industry hardware sales. I still don't know what hardware sales of what. All gaming hardware, all electronic hardware. Not Nintendo, that's the entire industry. But when you say entire industry, you mean entire gaming industry? Game systems, gotcha. Alright, I'll get that floating Pokeball. All these stupid Gimmighoul coins and stuff. Well, and don't forget the people who are like, this game sucks because man, Nintendo flops again, LMAO, regardless of the game's actual genuine quality. Yeah, there's a lot of people that look at my Pokemon essays and blame me of being like someone like that. Whereas it's like, no, these games actually kind of suck. And the parts of them that are good, like, I give credit where it's due. But there are those that put me into that kind of camp. They're like, oh yeah, no matter how good it is, you're always just gonna say that it sucks even though this game is really good. Like, I got a lot of that on my video essay on Legends Arceus, for example. Lots of comments like that. Can I from here? Go, Gator. Hell yeah. Glad that worked. There's a bonus ball anyway. Any more floating Pokeballs up here before I go down? Nah. Ooh. Wow, the like drift in midair. And you followed me down here? Holy crap. You land on the thing, but then you decide you want to go down here. Well. Here. You are my child now. Level 19 Panseer. The one that followed me down with some crazy parkour and stuff. But yeah, even saw someone go as far as to compare DK Bonanza to Concord. Yeah. Just sent you a graph, fear me. What, of the hardware sales and stuff? Let's see here. US video game hardware sales and average selling price. Oh, average selling price. The orange that's going up here. I see. Yeah, generally going up over time, but the total sales kind of petering down. Ever since COVID, it looks like. Kind of generally down. Right around the time of COVID. Interesting. And I was like, what's that last thing that you sent me? I got reminded of the bed sniffing thing. Like, all I saw was briefly, like, the half of an image. I was like, what the hell? I don't know if there's any more floating Pokeballs I should get here. Switch 1 is arguably the first Nintendo home console with a near infinite quantity of quality AAA games. Yeah, there really was, like, quite a lot of them there. Switch 2 is kind of the first Nintendo consoles being released at a time when adult players have a significant pre-existing backlog of games. Yeah, definitely is quite a lot of it. But only through the Switch 2 can you experience the Switch 2 exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. You gotta take that into account, too. You could get that experience through this console. Alright, well. Guess I got what I need. I'm out of here. See you later. Let me out of here. Still trying to get through all my Switch games. Yeah, I still have a lot of Switch games that I would like to do at some point here. Like Paper Mario the Origami King. That I still want to figure out getting a copy of at some point. That I'm not in too much of a rush for, considering I have to catch up on my Mario RPG series in general. Alright, well. Where to now? Well, let's go to this flying one, how about? Sure, Lumina can wreck you.